What is up, everybody? It's me and Rocco, the friendly Maltese technical analysis dog. It is, I believe, Wednesday, February 12th, 2025. I'm coming at you after the market close, where SPY contracted a little bit. Going to do something a little bit different today. We are not going to do single stocks because I'm actually not going to have a video for a little bit. So programming note, not that long, but tomorrow I won't be able to do a video. Headed down to Philly to see my Eagles in the parade and live my lifelong dream of having my son on my shoulders as I see the Vince Lombardi Trophy. So I'm super psyched. So Friday I won't be able to probably be able to spell SPY, and then Monday is President's Day. So enjoy your holiday. The markets are closed on Monday. It's the last holiday we get until Good Friday. So it's kind of like the end of the holidays for the market. Thank you, Caleb. Go Birds. Appreciate that. I'll have some, maybe some pictures if I'm able to, know how to work a phone then. Other than that, yes, we'll be back on Tuesday with, more videos and stuff. So that is about it for that part, I think. Anything else? That's about it. So let's get into it for today. What happened and such. Today was an international day. Bonds got smoked. Let me share the doc and you'll see what I mean. It's a nice little fancy one today. I thought I had something else to say, but I'm really, as you imagine, my brain's been a little scattered. I don't really remember. But yeah, and at the end of the show today, I will be doing, I never do this on a Wednesday, but I'll do the recap of the past year's trades. And it's important because there are some new entries in there and some things I'm actually putting in my book as well. I'm getting signals to do some buys. I will, either do it before I get to Philly, but there's some stuff that has to get done by the end of the week. We'll talk about it in a second. So what is this here? This, graphic between all these flags. So this is the recap of the day. China, ARK stocks, and Europe jumped, pretty significantly in some of those cases. Europe going to new 52-week highs. The DAX, the German index, going to new all-time highs. So there's a lot of strength there. We'll talk about the SPY and what I see, soon. But yeah, so those assets jumped. China, ARK, and Europe rose while energy and bonds sold off. We were talking about XOP going to frustrate folks, and that thing has gone down today over 3%, and bonds got hit really hard today. We'll take a look at some of those charts. Alrighty. So first, let me see if I remember how to do this. Okay, so here's the intraday. Let me plug some stuff away here. Boopity bop. All right. So here you see the chart of SPY. Give me a sec. My computer now wants to have issues. Hang on, everybody. All right, so let's look first before we get into stuff that moved today. We'll get into the intraday. I'll skip the single stock movers. The biggest one today was Intel up 7%. That was a heck of a rally from the big caps. Palantir continues to rage on, up 4%. BABA up 5%. We'll look at Chinese equities. MicroStrategy's up 2%. So first off, in terms of the intraday chart here is the opening. We had, a nice rally continuing from the lows of the morning. We are 598.5, basically at the bell. We got above VWAP, or volume weighted average price, that important orange line, and nice trading. It was rising throughout the entire day. So, iron sharpening iron there, continuing to go higher and higher each day. And then that 200 bar moving average was support once we got to midday. That 602 level was our support, and then we went to highs around that 12:30, 1 o'clock hour, 604.5, and then had a little bit of a sell-off with more volume at the 330 point, and we still closed above VWAP, above that 200 bar average. That's for like day traders, weeks, very short-term swing traders. Now, as I zoom out and I get to longer term, so I had been talking about the distribution phase ending right around end of this week. So I actually have did some charting. I have the date here as February 10th for the distribution date ending on SPY. Well, essentially, let me go to the chart here. Right around here were those lows. Yes, we did go lower today, but we still closed above higher. So for right now, and I'm seeing a lot of confirmation along with the other three major indices, the Dow, the IWM, and the Qs, that either they are confirming this or it seems imminent. So all that being said, is what I mean is the accumulation phase now goes through, typically work with like 15 to 23-day cycles. Each has different kind of, different statistics I look at. I usually work with the 15, but you can know like there's Cycles Fan on Twitter who does really good work, or X that does really good work on 23-day cycles. And we usually align actually a lot of like forecasts. So again, bullish accumulation phase through February 25th. What do I mean in terms of levels here? So I see us basing, holding right around the 600 level. I've been saying it for about a week and a half. 597, 600, right around there. Like entry, risk reward, and this is proof because all the way going back to January 16th or 3.5 weeks, that's 593 has held. So inside of 1% of that. So still nothing changes on that. 600 is pretty much your base play. That is going to be kind of your new go forward to me entry to catch this next rally. And the forecast here is it's going to have a little bit of a hard time getting above the 607, 608 level. Okay. So I see us ramping, like I said, for the next 13 days or so, roughly 2 weeks of bullishness. It's going to have a little bit of a hurdle. I want to see how it does it and why it does it. Obviously we had CPI and some movers today go in the opposite direction. Curious what propels us above and really makes us hold above, close above 608, because we haven't been able to do that since the day of the highs, essentially. After we do that, after we close above 608, the new goal will be 615, and that'll be new all-time highs. And I think we get there towards the end of the month. So I want to see what gets us to close 1% higher above here, $5, right? So 603 to 608, a little bit less than 1%. And then above that, we are going to get to about 615 or new all-time highs. So that is my forecast on SPY. So I think if you're long, I think you're going to have some nice gains in the portfolio by end of month. If you have a ticker or something, put in the chat. Some forecasts, some things have changed. Let's get into something I'm going to talk about for quite a bit today in the show. As an area that you have to be in. I have a note right here that I'll share with you folks. It's by FXI on or around February 18th, around or under 3180. So if this thing can finally stop, I tell you, that's how my brain has been feeling for several days. Let me see here. Hang on. Let me pull up an FXI. So FXI has been one of the bright stars of this past year and of today and of the week. So I don't really care what your time frame is. This thing has been a superstar. Finally, there is the chart. You are chasing a little bit here. Again, so my entry, I said I want to buy around 31.80, even $32 even. And that is going to be good enough for me. I like that level, and my target is going to be around $33. So a little bit less than here. I don't want to chase it here. This has been a very hot area of the day, of the week, of the month. I'm looking at it right now today. It goes up 2.5% today. This really helped lead the charge in markets today. FXI up a sharp 2.5%. And again, I mean, this almost looks like a crazy oopsie. If you got that chance on January 22nd, I don't think many people are that good, but maybe more so the 23rd. We were trading around 30.5. This thing in just almost 3 weeks is up from 30 to 34. So more than 10% in just a couple of weeks. I don't want to chase it here. I think it'll consolidate a little bit. There is volatility in this. There could be a bad number, or having some room or something that needs more stimulus or takes longer, or they made something up as usual. Who knows? But I do think there's a possibility you get an entry around. I mean, like I said, I'm trying to get around 31.80 or $32, and that'll be my entry. I'm going to be looking for that, like I said, on or around February 18th, and I'll just share with you guys, sometimes the day is more important than the price. So if it goes February 18th, 19th, I think that's like a weekend, one of the days. But I'll make sure it's complete before that. You'll want to, in my opinion, get in at that time. But don't chase. I don't want to buy right here unless it's like a clear breakout and we're closing 34.5, and then it's going to have this $36 in mind. So something for sure to look forward to. I'll look at this again at the end when we recap best trades of the year, because this is one of them. All right, next big mover today was the ARK stocks, a big jump for ARK, up 2.1%. That's a nice move. These guys put in a 52-week high just 2 weeks ago at around $65. This has had, like I said, a nice couple of weeks here from its lows. What is the play? So to be honest with you, I think this is not a bad area. I have been, Tesla as a main holder of this last I checked. I've been suffering with Tesla. Today finally looked like potentially reversal. It's been really just crapping the bed for quite a while, weeks now. I held on to it way too long, unfortunately. And now I think it's finally getting ready to go again. And this is kind of emblematic of that. This ARK for me right here, this is a great entry. If you can get in around 61.75, somewhere around here, I like this. The target is $66. We'll see if this is a great looking hammer today. This looks like it wants to go higher. I mean, we trade as low as $60 on this, and we closed at 62.5. Pretty strong. And again, the 52-week highs are at $65 nearly, struck almost 2 weeks ago. So this one looks good. I'm not going to get long because I'm already long Tesla. But this looks strong. And also, this largely held, I'll get, picture perfect here and say it's held above a 44 RSI pretty amazingly all the way going back to September. And if I forgive this oopsie, it's all the way since August. So honestly, really one of the stronger charts is ARK here. So, and this thing has a lot of volatility and beta. So, for all you cracked out junkies that love stuff that moves, this, with a almost $2 ATR or average true range, today it moved more than that. So this thing moves, and this looks like it's setting up. If you can get in, like I said, around 61.75, you get a small pullback because it ran so much today. You get a little bit of a pullback, like I said, to 61.75. I think you're looking good, and this is going to be a nice one into the all-time highs end of month, and this is going to get beyond and to new 52-week highs for ARK. All right, and the next one, speaking of 52-week highs, FEZ, the Euro Stoxx, new 52-week high for all you Europeans out there. I was song from Bob's Burgers. My son likes singing. It's like Happy Thanksgiving for everybody, except if you're European. Anyway, Fez, congratulations for all you holders. This had some scary moments, honestly, all the way through like January 17th. It did pretty much. Let's see how long this was in the penalty box. October 29th to about January 17th. That is, all of November, December. This one took quite a while. This was, like 10, 11 weeks, more than typically I allow. And then what happens? You love combining qualitative and quantitative data. Once it closes above the 200 moving average, it also gets its first overbought period in more than 6 months. You love to see that, and you think there's going to be follow through typically when you see something like that, and it happened. And also nice hold of support here on February 3rd. So this hold like bull for the most part in the past couple of weeks here. This 51 line is good support here. Now what do you do? Because it's ran quite a bit. I will wait for pullbacks. It probably does go higher because, my God, look at this candle close to the absolute tippy top. It looks like folks want to do more. And again, 52 week highs. So, no resistance overhead. I personally would just wait for a little bit of a breather of this group, maybe to about $52. And then for an entry. I like that for better risk reward. But clear skies ahead. If you're in the Euro Stoxx, congrats. New 52-week high. Losers today, multiple Sigma losers. The oil and gas space, okay? The XOP down 3.2% here. Ugly. You ugly. So this continued to go lower. I mean, I don't really even consider this. This is about 2 weeks above the 200 moving average, and this is about a week and a half of sessions. So really, this has really looked heavy since August 1st. That's no bueno. You typically don't want to bargain hunt for things like that. And like I said, this is why you have to do trial and error for a lot of this. So look at this. So this, again, closes above the 200 moving average. And look at that, with overbought. So you would say, okay, that's great, right? You want to buy us and chase it? Well, not exactly, because you never took out that breakout. See, that's what's the difference in Fez. You have clear skies ahead. There's nothing above. Here, there's resistance significantly at 150 and beyond. And then I see more resistance at 154. So this got tired. And again, this went from 125, almost straight line to 145. And now it seems to be rolling over. What do I see short term for this group? I don't think it may have, like I said, today was not a good looking day. This may have another flush to the downside, but only to about 132 or so. I expect that to hold this support that it's held since New Year's Eve, actually. So this has been 2025 support of $132 or so. I think that holds. And to be honest, I think this pops to about 137 or so over the next week. And then I think it actually catapults over this 200 moving average and tries to make a move towards about 142. It's going to, again, confuse and annoy people. It's going to go probably this 200-day moving average maybe starts to go sideways, and then it closes above it, kind of like what you saw here for a day, 2, 3, maybe even 4, and then it starts to roll over. So more frustration. I hate to say it, but XOP looks that way. Okay, a major mover today, bonds. Rates really shot up today. Bonds, TLT is the lens that we're looking at. Ugly chart. September 17th, the week of the Fed cut, ironically, is when TLT peaked. And now really no reason to hold this chart since October 10th. Just ugly. Looking at a stock basis, nothing but oversold in different periods, pre-election, post-election, 52-week low coming literally inside of the last month. Not great looking things here. So it looks to be overall bonds lower, rates higher. That's what, potentially is putting a small lid on the market. Overall, though, I do not like TLT here. I think it has a rough week or two. And I think this actually heads towards about 85.5. So I think the 52-week low holds, but I do think it gets a little bit close. So I think this has a nasty week or two. Again, TLT lower over the next week or so, which would mean bonds rally. That's why I'm giving a little bit more time for the new S&P all-time highs. I think this is going to curb the enthusiasm of the market for a little bit. And you saw it today, and the S&P closed down 30 bips. All right. I got a ticker from my boy Gaston. Hey, can you check out PayPal? Yeah, I will. Also, I thought of you today. I don't know if you still have that trade on. If you can put in the chat if you do or don't. I don't. Full disclosure. The Gilead Johnson & Johnson trade that we recommended, long Gilead because it ripped today, and then short Johnson & Johnson. It's been a great trade. I don't know what I'm doodling here. I should be writing names that you give me, Gaston. That was a great one that we came up with, I think, together. Okay, top 3 gainers. I'll look at yours at the end of the show. So hang in there. Top 3 gainers of the past 5 days. Baby, if you've been in KWEB, up 8% the past 5 days, or an average of almost 2% a day. This has been a nice one. Again, if you were patient as well, there's more strength in FXI, of course, depending on your look back, but we'll highlight at the end of the show. FXI has looked stronger than strictly Chinese internet, right? Alibaba is a major holder of this, as is Baidu. This group peaked in October. Still a great looking chart. It actually did get oversold on Jan 10th. So if you grabbed your balls and you held right and you bought right there, like there was never really a better time since before the stimulus was announced in the fall. And now you would have got a gain from 27 to 34. So absolutely just astonishing. This has been the best area to be this week, KWEB. There's no, flaunting that. I don't want to chase it right up here. Again, in terms of like what we're looking at in terms of the other charts, I don't see a clear, close at 35.30. Then that to me looks like we are heading very imminently towards 39. Like I said, I am buying FXI. I shared with you home gamers on or around the 18th, and I gave you my price level. So this is setting up. So very possibly it does do that. That being said, for this name specifically, I'm waiting for a pullback to about 31.25, 31.30, basically the lows here from the end of January, earlier this month. So I'm not going to chase it up here at 33.80. If you were to get a pullback, I would get in. I do prefer FXI better. KWEB, the best performer this week, up 8%. Second best performer is natural gas, up 6%. We haven't looked at this for a little bit. Let's take a look at the chart. It was up 1% today. It's had a pretty stellar week, up 6%. This one, a nicer chart if you're just comparing, apples to steering wheels, Chinese internet and nat gas. Look at this. So again, technically very, very pretty. This has had a resurgence ever since December 20th. After the 200-day moving average. A lot of reasons to get into this chart here. The 200-day stopped going down. You had a nice volume surge here to new highs on the December 30th. And then here as well, when it reached all the way to $20 essentially. So what do we do here? Nat gas, I believe this has had the run for right now. It's not in my portfolio. It could have a little bit more to go. I wouldn't be shocked if this tries to make a move towards 19 handle and potentially even a 20 handle. Wouldn't shock me. But I do think it's getting a little long in the tooth. I would personally rather sit this one out for like 2.5-ish weeks and get an entry around 17.5 because I think you'll very likely possibly get it. 200-day moving average is now rising. And again, almost similar to the first ETF, we we're highlighting. This has had, above 44 RSI trading since mid-November. So strong. There's, definitely worse spots you could be in than this after its picture it's had. All right, and then the third one, look at them rotating into some of these that you have to pay attention to. It was KWEB this week and Nat Gas. And what's third? Mexico. Mexico has been an absolute dog. Okay, so there is what this is called rotation. It can't just be Saquon getting 400 yards every day. He didn't do it on Sunday, and guess what? We still got ourselves a ship. So kind of what was reminding me with Mexico, they're not kicking the crap out of us anymore, coming off of its lows on New Year's Eve, all the way down to $46. It's now up to $52. So now what do we see? Do you get in? Is it going to make more of a run? Mexico, this looks a little bit long. I kind of see potentially it's months away, possibly, or at least weeks away for maybe having a natural gas type turnaround. But this really, ever since the leftists, had a crazy liberal election, June 3rd, this has been, lights out. I don't like this stock, this ETF rather. I think it may have a little bit more to go to the upside. Potentially is going as, 52.30. But these December highs, I don't think will get taken out this run. And I do think a sell-off over the next 2 to 3 weeks will take this back to $50 even. So that's just, more so me talking about the rotation into weaker areas. Speaking of weaker areas, the top 3 losers of the past 5 days. Some of these new entries, they've really fell since we last spoke a few days ago. XBI down 5%, or an average of 1% a day. Today kind of reversed that trend, down 1%. This has been an ugly chart. I'll even kind of forgive this. Oopsie. This is when all the Kennedy stuff, when he was going to be health secretary confirmation. And this really hasn't looked right. And an easy way to trade it is 95 resistance here. When it gets to 95, just sell it. It's worked since December 12th. So, don't fix it if anything broke. It's worked for 2 months. I just don't see this changing right now. In the short term, in the next 2-3 weeks. And again, XBI's had a nasty week. IBB, ARKK, all the biotechs. It's not just this concentration. I still see a little downside coming for XBI over the next week or so. It has begun. I think this wants to head towards about $86, potentially putting in a new multi-month low. I think it might want to get there. Today was an encouraging candle here, but I'm not so sure the Dikembe on February 6th is over. Again, I'm big on the 21-day, 15-day cycles. I don't think this is over just yet. I think it may be another week or so of weakness, and 92 will be resistance on this. 95 resistance, and then a lesser tier, 92. I just see this headed towards 86, 87 handle over the next week. I wouldn't chase it, especially this week. Excuse me. Second weakest area, ITB. You're having rates rise. Of course, this ain't going to be a sexy area. Not a stellar area since the 13th. Again, this thing got the crap kicked out of it for almost from the 16th of December to 11th of January, almost a month, 3 weeks of just significantly lower range trading. And now we're essentially right at the lows again. Again, the 52-week low on this was back in July. And that's 97 even. We're at 102 handle essentially now. I'm rounding. So now what? Again, we told you what was likely going to happen with rates. In a kind of a sick way, when I'm steered the right way, I just look at the charts. If I'm looking at the chart, this looks like it wants to bottom right around here, right around 101. And I do see a move. It might take a little bit longer, 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks. But I do think it goes to the upside to about 106. Over the next 2-3 weeks. I think it's going to happen. To me, not a super fun trade, riding that from 102 to 106, but tactical if you need that kind of movement. Maybe even put a trade on like what we were saying. You could play bonds to that side, and then you could do home construction to the upside. So bonds lower, and then ITB higher. Just a thought. I'm really tired. Okay, next. And then the last one, weakness, Ethereum. We started to highlight this one a little bit more and more. Ethereum really weak this past week, down 3%, so less than biotech and home construction. How about that? But this group peaked December 16th at $31. We've sank all the way now to $20. Now what, you say? What happens for this Ishares ETF here? I think you could start to buy here. I don't think you have a ton of risk buying if you have a 19 handle on here. 19.5. I like that for an entry. I think this is very likely to pop to about $23 in the next 2 weeks, to be very frank with you. So that's a bigger than 10% gain. So probably more than anything I've been talking about in terms of absolute returns, of course, not vol adjusted, because this one's a crazy one with a crazy average range of $1.50 on a $20 stock. But this looks like, the risk is controlled here. If your basis is at $19 or so, I honestly like it. I think it's headed to 23 pretty soon in the next two to 3 weeks. So top 3 trades of the past 5 days: long Philadelphia Eagles to the moon. But in terms of tickers, it's EAGLES Eagles. I have 80-day. Long KWEB, best area of the market, plus 8%. Congrats. Absolute fire area of the market. Number 2 best area was Nat Gas, plus 6%. And the 3rd best area, short XBI. That was the perfect portfolio for the past 5 days. Long Chinese internet, long Nat Gas, short biotech. Love that. Not correlated. This is what always keeps me on my toes trading. Absolutely phenomenal being in those areas. Hang on, Gaston. For the end, I am going to do a year recap, and this is one of my favorites because this is one of the biggest takeaways. The best trade of the past 52 weeks. Drum roll, Rocco. Nothing. Got nothing. IBIT, okay, 93%. GBTC, I do want to say, because I used to be like a broken record every week. GBTC, best of the year. IBIT is now the best. GBTC year over year is up about 65-ish% or something like that. IBIT is up 93%. This is your top Bitcoin proxy of the entire market. Again, it put in its lows in August on Yen-Mageddon for the specific ETF, touching $28. And holy lordy, going all the way to $62 essentially on December 17th. Now, what do you do with it? I own this. I own it in several accounts. It almost seems like it's never enough. Similar to what I said, obviously, like its little brother Ethereum, this one's looking ripe, I believe. If you could buy this around $51, I love it. Okay, obviously, right? That's 10% off. Even here, it's right under its 21-day exponential moving average. This has more strength, look at the chart, than Ethereum. So my sites are, I'm not going to get that in on sale or as cheap like the ETHA ETF. So here, I like your entry under 56, and my target for this is $63 in the next 2 to 3 weeks. This is going to, so $63 around here, which would correlate with new all-time highs for BTC USD, so more than 110K. So I am seeing that kind of animal spirits play out towards the end of the month. I'm having a lot of triggers for end of month, or a lot of notes for looking for new all-time highs. We'll see. It's what I see in the charts. There's been a lot of basing. There's still strength in the market. You're seeing global highs in other assets like Germany and rotating into underperforming areas. I don't think I'm crazy. We'll see how I probably speak at Gino's on Friday night, because I'm probably going to be slurring, and crazy will be exactly how I'm categorized and defined. But for right now, this looks good. It looks like it's headed to 63 in a couple of weeks. Next one, and this is huge, and this is my a note. I'm not going to chase it right here. We have been talking about it. It's pretty shocking. Not shocking, but it's interesting to me. The second best trade of the past year, wake up, is GDX, up 54%. This belongs in your portfolio. It is not in mine, full disclosure. It's absolutely just ripping here. I know it's not yet 52-week highs. GLD is also great. You can get long either one, honestly. Gold has a little bit more strength right now, and that is putting new highs this week, and these guys are still lagging a little bit, 3-4 months behind. But definitely a good-looking chart. I'm not chasing it here based on the run it's had and the overbought period. I think it'll trees don't go to the sky, and I think it'll come home and give me an opportunity. I want to buy this at 39. I don't think it's crazy. It would be on sale. I would need it to fall 8% or so. I don't think it's that crazy. It's the December highs. I don't think it's that crazy, and that's my level. I think you're gonna have to wait 2-3 weeks though for it, and I don't think it's going to take out these highs imminent. But gold miners, holy yowza. This and the juniors they're the same. They're both up about 54% year over year. I think the juniors are up a tad more, up like 58% year over year. But Bitcoin, Gold miners, gold itself as well. We're not going to highlight that. That's doubting that we're going to get our stuff together, right? That's doubting the government, doubting our currency, doubting that we have inflation under control, and folks are leading, into these assets. Again, one of the best hedgers for inflation, owning stocks. So it's not like me saying, "Oh my God, the world's going to end." It just makes you want to buy everything and put different places, different spots on the roulette wheel. Kind of like having, I don't know, with the best defense, the best offensive line, the best running back, and an amazing quarterback. It's just, built to last. Okay, and then the third one, we have this chart from earlier, but again, I'm saying this because just really double down on saying that it belongs in your portfolio. FXI, number 3, right behind the gold miners. It's IBIT up 93% year over year. Wake up. GDX up 54% year over year, and then right behind FXI up 51%. This, as I said, I like better than the KWEB. And like I said, I think this one's getting ready. Give it a few more days. I have my note to buy this within 6 days. I literally have on my note by Tuesday around 31.80. Again, that's a hell of a discount. It's trading $34 right now. I will see what's going on that day. Where are we trading then? Has it taken this breakout even higher? And this is China. This thing can gap up 5% today. Who knows? So we'll see. I'll evaluate state of affairs there if we have a 35 handle. I think it comes lower. I think it tries to work this off, but who knows? I would love to own this with a 32 handle and then the target basically essentially to where we are here before I see more strength going in later. So those are the trades of the year from February 12th, 2024 through today. IBIT, gold miners, and China. Wake up and own them. Okie dokie. Let's see. Okay. Can you check out PayPal? I bought 78. Sad face. Oh, I don't like the sad face part. I haven't checked PayPal. Let me take a look. It's trading 76. All right. So you don't have the Midas touch on everything, Gaston. So this is it's sold off a little bit. The highs were December 9th at $94. Then yikes, I saw that earnings report in just one day. It went from 90 all the way to 77. Quite a move, but look at this. It held where it had to. Rising 200-day moving average. Nice sharp resurgence, I would say, from 52-week lows coming from July. This name used to be hated on. I remember with the whole work from home. PayPal used to be an absolute loser. This is tough, seeing this kind of reset, but it's held where it had to. This actually really doesn't scare me all that much. I think this is basing, and to be honest, I think this pops to about 79 kind of soon, Gaston. So I think the ATR on this is 265. I think this gets to 79 fairly soon. I think you rub off that earnings reaction kind of soonish. And I think this heads to about, honestly, 80. If what I'm saying is correct with the whole all-time highs, everything for the market by the end of the month, I think this is looking pretty by the end of the month as well. I think it has a meeting with $85. I think it gets there. I think it fills and gets above here to about $85. I just don't think the trend is over for this. So I think you'll be sitting pretty 78 to 85. It's up almost 10% for you. I don't know if you're in a derivative or just straight stock, but you got it at 78. Like I said, that's not really bad. The support is your 200-day at the 74. You're inside. I mean, you're just above that. I don't hate it. I would hang on. I think this gets to $84 by the end of the month, and then I do think it's going to hit a wall. I don't think it's going to do much more. So again, for a while, I think it's going to get tired there. So 80, again, basically filling the gap from earnings from that gap down. All righty. And do you recommend Phantom for crypto wallet? Is this like a coin or something? Phantom? I don't know what that is. Crypto, I look at some of the beep coins and all that stuff. It's just a wild, wild west, and just put a 5-day simple exponential moving average on it and then sell half when it doubles so you don't get robbed blind. Okay. And you did shares for PayPal. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, I think you're going to be sitting on a 10% gain by the end of the month then. Very near 10%, 8 to 10% or so. All right. Wow, long show today, 34 minutes. I will be at the parade on Friday, y'all. Go Birds. I might even bring Rocco there, not sure. Monday, have a great Valentine's Day. Love y'all. And Happy President's Day. And we will see y'all Tuesday. Peace. Go Birds. EAGLES, Eagles.